it.
Did you hear Jeremy Lin say the dunk that Schubert was going to do?
He's going to jump over a couch.
Yeah, Lin was going to lay on the couch.
Jeremy Lin slept on Landry Fields, the point guard of the Knicks, who, I don't have to tell you guys who Linsanity is, but before he's become Linsanity, was sleeping on Landry Fields' couch. I think so, right?
He was on his brother's couch, then he moved to Landry Fields' couch.
Oh, and then his brother had company over, so he had to leave his brother's house.
Yeah.
Jeremy Lin's a good point guard. There is no more Linsanity.
No, but he's going to be an above average point guard.
Yeah, I mean he's 14 and 5 a night.
He's only got 25 games when
Dwayne
Wade lit him up, people are like, oh, he got lit up. That was his 12th game. Can you imagine your 12th game? It's like, all right, Dwayne Wade and didn't just want to play him. Dwayne Wade wants to teach you a lesson tonight. Like Dwayne Wade is going to light your ass up in Miami, and it's only a 12th game. Why do you think
LeBron doesn't take the last shot at games?
I have no idea.
For the Miami Heat.
And he's got to learn. Do you know why? Because he doesn't have Kenyon Martin yelling at him.
And why do you think LeBron
he has to take that last shot?
Has a beard like an Amish man?
That's an NBA thing. Have you seen Tyson Chandler's? There are Amish guys jealous of Tyson Chandler. And Kevin Love.
Who's the cat with the super long one?
Oh, from Oklahoma?
Salmons? No.
No. What is his name? I know who you're talking about.
Right. Well,
but Kevin Love is slowly turning into Paul Bunyan up in Minnesota.
Well, that's what you do in Minnesota.
I think he should. I think he should just let the shit grow and because that would make him identifiable as that guy. Because I don't think anyone saw Kevin Love.
So we don't know what happened to Blake Griffin's brother.
No. You get somebody send it to us on Twitter.
Being black is a tough hustle.
Who you telling?
You. Being black with red hair is like another dimension of tough hustle.
Well,
hold on. Being black with red hair and being a twin, you might as well just shoot yourself in the face. Like to be a redheaded, freckled black guy with a doppelganger. Like that old Ray Romano joke, like he's got twin boys, and he goes, "Oh, it's kind of weird, because if you're ugly in life, no one really notices. But if you go to a party, and then 4 minutes later, that exact ugliness walks in behind you, oh, I didn't realize how ugly you were until your exact ugliness came in when you were done."
No, the rough part is being a brother, because if you're Blake Griffin, right, you're like women are like, he's cute. You know what I mean? Because he's a superstar in the NBA.
He can dunk.
But if you're the brother, you got nothing. Like you're riding
the Ozzie Canseco of the Griffin family.
And you're 6'10", so that's another thing. So you can't even hide. Like you can never.
We don't even know his name. And we're huge basketball fans.
Yeah.
But when they were at Oklahoma, it was like the Griffin brothers.
Yeah.
Like it was like the Diaz brothers to fighting. It's the Griffin brothers. Like here they come, the Griffin brothers. There's really who's the older black comic, light skin with red hair? Is it Ronaldo Ray?
Ronaldo Ray. Yeah.
I couldn't remember his name on this podcast.
Yeah, Ronaldo Ray.
And it made me crazy because he was on talking about Def Jam. They used to do that show Uptown Comedy Club where they would end the show with a Your Mama contest. And that's when Tracy was like 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And he used to hit, I don't know, he used to hold like a diaper in his hand and smack it against. For real. Do you remember? He would just, he was always angry, like, I don't know what to do, Lonzo. and then everyone would do mother jokes. And Rob Magnotti was like the white guy. And he was like stone faced. Your mother is so dumb. And they would kill. And Ronaldo Ray would make his up. And that was the hardest I've ever laughed, I think, ever watching stand-up comedy on television, was him saying, and forgive me for repeating this, people that heard this 2 months ago, they're going like, it takes her 2 hours to watch 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
And they're like, your mother's so fat, helicopters land on her back when she wears a Malcolm X jacket. And they're all like going, and this guy is literally going, I want to visit your monkey-ass sister because she owed me some money, and he's wearing like a suit.
Yeah, he always wears
like the classiest guy. And as I made my way up the driveway, your mother came out from under the porch and bit my leg. Like he made it up.
Right.
And I remember I saw him at Ralph's, the one on Vineland and Ventura. and you would have thought I saw Elvis Presley. Like, I was like, oh my God, you're so funny. And he's looking at me like, all right, relax. I'm just holding a cantaloupe, bro.
You know who I saw at that Ralph's? Stephon Marbury.
Wow.
Stephon Marbury. And I really wanted to go up to him and be like, so what's next?
Yeah, how did you fuck that life up?
Yeah.
You were Coney Island's own.
He's got $20 million.
But does he still?
Well, he's got to have some of it.
He's in China now.
Yeah.
High overhead.
Yeah.
Chopstick after chopstick. But it's like,
yeah, you were a premier guard in the NBA.
Who's the guy from Georgia? Another Georgia Tech guy.
Like, you fucked up so bad, they paid you not to play.
Yeah. And
then no other team would pick you up.
And no other league that everybody plays in Turkey.
Right.
Everybody plays overseas in like the European. But like when a guy goes, fuck it, I'm going to China. It's like, whoa. You really, like J.R. Smith from the Knicks played in China.
Kmart was in China.
He wasn't he?
Kmart, and they almost didn't let him go because his team was like going to the playoffs or something like that.
That's got to be the strangest thing in the world to be like a brother from Coney Island rolling through like the Daojing province.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of, just you and me on vacation doing stand-up and like, hey, we got a day pass, let's walk around China. We're going to be blown away. But to be playing basketball against Chinese men alone, like they must think you're the second coming of Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like you're dunking over Chinamen.
And then they're asking you if you know Jeremy Lin. And you're like, who?
Yeah, who's Jeremy Lin?
Who's Jeremy Lin, right? Because they wouldn't know who Jeremy Lin was because this was,
He's an American kid.
Yeah.
You to me, stand-up wise, you're like Johnny Damon, like when he played for the Oakland A's, like a guy that hits 310, 15 homers, stolen bases, triples, but he played on the West Coast where no one really realizes how great Buster Posey is, the catcher for the Giants.
Right.
Because he plays for the Giants. And if you read the New York Times, sorry, that game took place too late for us to report on it.
Yeah, well, that's why nobody plays college ball in the West anymore. That's why everyone goes
basketball,
to the East.
You mean?
Yeah.
You really? Is that true? Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, because you don't get on TV. Right? You don't get on TV if you're
UCLA,
like it used to be UCLA. Like they used to fight to come to UCLA.
If UCLA has fallen off, that it really is the case in point for your whole thing.
Yeah, Arizona's fallen off too.
Yeah.
Wow,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you got to go to the Big Ten or the ACC or the Big East if you want to play on TV.
If you could play any position in any sport and be like, like a 14-year career, 5-time All-Pro or All-Star, not Ted Williams.
Yeah.
But, and that's all. I don't know if you go to the World Series or the Super Bowl or the Stanley. I don't know what it is. I just know you're going to play 14 years, make the All-Star or the All-Pro 3 times. Any position, any team. What do you do?
NBA. Probably power forward.
For?
Knicks.
Yes.
Give me Oakley's career. Give me Charles Oakley's career. He's
the best. If you're going to let a guy into the Hall of Fame for being like a lunch pail, blue collar, like, I'll take care of the dirty work.
Yeah.
You got to let Oakley in.
Yeah. Just for the work he did. I don't know if he'll ever get in because they didn't win the championship.
They should let him in for being the NBA's bookie.
Yeah. Well, they should
know that, right?
Yeah. Wow. But they should let him in just for the fact that they changed the rules because of what you did to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like just because of the beating you put on Jordan.
Him up.
They
Gerald
changed
Wilkins
the rules.
actually could guard him one-on-one.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this. It's so funny you brought that up.
Yeah, that Knick team used to, they dared you to come in the paint. They were like, yeah, come on down.
Well, nobody could score. It was like the craziest. It was like Patrick Ewing.
72 to 67.
It was Patrick Ewing and like 4 felons. Like if these guys weren't in the NBA, like Anthony Mason, John Starks.
Anthony Mason
Orlando
was not
Blackman.
Too far. He went to high school in my neighborhood. Like
you stumped me right there that Anthony Mason even went to high school.
Yeah, he did. Springfield Gardens High School. And
where did you grow up?
I grew up in Queens. I grew up in St. Albans. And Anthony Mason,
Queensbridge,
was like, he was a straight thug. And he even he still wore gangster coats and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure when he first showed up at the Garden, security was like, nah, bro, you can't get in here. Like, what do you know what I mean?
And
he
was
played ball like
Riley
that.
modified that. He said, Riley probably sat through one practice and just watched balls banging off the side of the backboard and went, all right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to play half court, and when guys come down the blocks, we're going to elbow them in the face.
Right, kill them.
I'm going to send guys in that'll just eat up fouls to elbow guys in the face.
Yeah, that was. I love those Knick teams, though.
I didn't like 22 turnovers a night because Patrick kept dribbling it off his foot.
Yeah,
Patrick used to make me crazy because he would get the pass up by his ear and then immediately put the ball on the floor to dribble. It's like, no, dude, you're 7 feet tall. Just take it from your
Patrick's
ear.
Problem was
small hands.
Yeah,
small hands. Well,
that's God's like little joke. Like, yeah, I'm gonna make you 7 feet tall, solid as a brick wall, and I'm gonna give you the hands of a 5'5" woman.
I thought God's joke was giving him the face of Dionne Warwick.
Well, that, again, the NBA gets you past that.
Yeah, it is. I think I said on the show Master Debaters, which you should have been on, but I didn't book it. I said cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys, and they yelled at me like I was such a. And I'm like, it's my fucking life. Like, I'm choosing. What do you guys care? But corner, you get to hit, you get to tackle, but you get burned. But every once in a while, you get an interception, you get to take it to the house.
Yeah.
In Big D,
like Deion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "That's the craziest shit I ever heard."
Yeah. It's not
what
good. Comics
do you like? Like what comics? If you're on YouTube rooting around just because you have time on your hands, who do you look at?
I still look at the guys who were the old masters for me. So it was like, I'd still look at Louis Black. I would check out Louis Black stuff. I would check out Chappelle. Chappelle still kills me. I think he is the naturally funniest guy I have ever seen. Just stand up there and talk shit and be funny.
People don't realize when Chappelle came up, I was at Boston Comedy Club. It was like me, Nick DiPaolo, Keith Robinson, Rich Voss, Colin would drop by, Dave Attell, Red Johnny and the Round Guy. And then all of a sudden, I mean, when you say a guy was 16, like, he was fucking 16. It wasn't like, he was young, man. He was like a 16-year-old. No, the motherfucker was 6. Like, he was 16 years old, and he had a completely different show from the one that you see, like, on his specials. He was a storyteller, and he told these amazing stories. It was like when you see a deer in the woods, and you just pause a second and go, look at that. Wow, don't make any noise. Be real quiet. Let him get his story out. He's 16.
Patrice. I'll watch Patrice O'Neal. Patrice is going to be more famous in death than he was in life.
Yeah.
People don't realize how funny he was. He was a monster. So.
I was watching his Elephant in the Room, and I've never seen a guy use the crowd but not ever be mean to the crowd.
No.
Like, he would say, like, so you're from Queens, man? We're like, with that hand on his face, like, Queens, huh? And is this is your girl right here? You won't let him look at these titties right here? Yeah. Just let him look at the titties.
When you tell a sister in the audience that she's not going to be saved, like if she disappears in Aruba, that whole bit, he was like, sorry. He's like looking at her like, see, white girl over there, they're going to look for her.
When he asked the guy, like, you football fan? And the guy goes, no. And he goes, I don't know what to say. Like everything, it's almost like watching Patrice do stand-up was to watch someone have a discovery every 4 minutes. Yeah. And then be able to expound on that discovery and share it in that exact moment and have a 4-minute bit that was never written down. Or maybe it was, and that's the Kaufman-esque brilliance of Patrice. Yeah. But we'll never know.
No.
I just got asked by an interviewer in Tampa, how do you feel about playing theaters? I'm like, well, it's kind of the payoff because it's one show. You know, you stay at the, Doubletree, Pasadena, and bang it out, and come to the radio, and you got to do 2 shows because there's nothing worse. Like, oh God, that was awesome, and in a half hour I have to do it all again. And to you listening, you're like, what's the big deal? It's like it depends on the act. Like guys like Zoe. And I could speak for myself, like, you kind of leave it all out there.
Yeah, you put it all out there, and then you have to create it again. And even though you're doing basically the same act, but it's like 10, jazz. Minutes. And I work with a lot of jazz guys, and they say that, like, my comedy's like jazz because you have that basic melody, but you're still riffing and improv.
Right.
Every show is going to be somewhat different.
Right.
Otherwise, it's a recital.
How much material would you say you switch out from like the 8 o'clock to the 10 o'clock show?
At least 15, 20.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like,
20.
what show's better to come to?
Yeah.
Just come.
Right. Well, I don't target to do one good show.
Yeah. You know what?
Listen, Thursday, I always suck. And then, that early show Saturday, I'm usually just waking up on that one. So, no, I don't know